Students, now I will explain you about impact of humans on environment कि पर्यावरण पर मानव का किस प्रकार से प्रभाव पड़ता है या मानव अपनी अनेक प्रकार की एक्टिविटीज़ के द्वारा किस प्रकार एनवायरनमेंट को प्रभावित करते हैं. ओके. इन द पास्ट द ह्यूमन इम्पैक्ट ऑन द एनवायरनमेंट वॉज नेग्लिजिबल. Thus, damage to the environment naturally was less grave. Main human activities which result in the degradation of biodiversities are the following. First, overpopulation upsets all calculations, causes ecological imbalance and leads to degradation of environment. Human activities like agriculture, lumbering, and growth of towns and cities have very negative impact on biodiversity. Ruthless cutting of forests for human need is also a big problem. Excessive hunting of animals, technological advancement. The ecological balance may be disturbed by changes in the physical environment or changes in the relative numbers of organisms in the biosphere. If the numerical balance is upset, there will be dearth of food for certain organisms and a large scale mortality due to it. और जब बच्चों हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर में इस तरह का इम्बैलेंस बहुत ज़्यादा हद से ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है तो मोर्टेलिटी का रेट बढ़ जाता है. जैसे कि आप प्रेजेंट टाइम में देख सकते हो कि किस तरह से हम लोग एक वायरस से फेस कर रहे हैं और अभी तक हम उससे इतने ज़्यादा प्रभावित हैं कि वैक्सीन नहीं बन पाई है और हमें तरह तरह के प्रिकॉशंस लेने पड़ रहे हैं. ये सब हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर में इम्बैलेंस की वजह से ही होता है, जो कि तरह तरह की एक्टिविटीज़ के द्वारा, इंस्ट्रूमेंट के द्वारा हमारा एटमॉस्फेयर प्रभावित होता है. Man has developed new breeds of cultivated plants and domesticated animals to serve his needs of plant and animal products. The use of pesticides and insecticides in the farms has also affected the relative proportion of various organisms in the biosphere. By understanding the delicate balance in the biosphere, man will be able to exploit the resources of the biosphere in such a manner that the balance is not disturbed. There is a large variety of natural vegetation and wildlife in the world. More than 1 crore animal species and 3 crore plant species are known. It is easier to count big animals, birds, flowering plants because they are relatively large, but there are many more in the soil, in the sea, in forests, and in swamps which cannot be counted. Okay. Next, I will explain about natural vegetation. प्राकृतिक वनस्पति जो कि कुदरत ने हमें फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट प्रोवाइड की है. In the plant kingdom, we can divide plants into normal forests, grassland, thorny shrubs, and shrubs. These varieties occur due to different types of climates and landforms. Forest covers only about 30% of the land surface of the world at present. They are much more extensive in the past. Forests are classified into several categories according to the types of trees and other vegetation. These varieties also occur due to varieties in the climate. Forests can be broadly classified into evergreen and deciduous forests. Evergreen forests contain broadleaves evergreen trees with a variety of species. They are called evergreen because there is no particular season when trees shed all their leaves. There is a thick undergrowth of plants between the trees. The Amazon basin in South America and Congo basin in Africa are the main areas which belong to this type of forest. These type of forests look green all the year round. In deciduous forest, there is a particular season when most of the trees shed their leaves. The trees of these forests shed their leaves during the hot season before the monsoons. They are found in areas where rainfall is between 100 to 200 centimeter. The forests in these regions are less dense than the evergreen forests. Grasslands are vast stretches of land covered with grass, short bushes, and few scattered trees. Here, the most extensive type of vegetation is tall, coarse grass. These regions have a very hot and dry season. Annual rainfall varies from 30 to 70 centimeter, 30 to 60 centimeter, with maximum in summer. The semi-humid grasslands are known as prairies, whereas semi-arid parts of consist of steppes. The grasslands have various names in different countries and continents. तो स्टूडेंट अफ्रीका के ग्रासलैंड को सवाना के नाम से जानते हैं, ब्राज़ील में ग्रासलैंड्स को पंपास के नाम से, इन साउथ अमेरिका हम पंपास के नाम से जानते हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में डॉन्स के, साउथ अफ्रीका में वेल्ड, यूरेशिया में स्टेपीज और नॉर्थ अमेरिका में प्रेरीज बोला जाता है इन्हें. Here is grassland. During the rainy season, grass and other plants begin to grow rapidly, but in summer they are damaged by the intense sun. In the cold desert and hot desert areas, vegetation is only thorny bushes and shrubs. Here the rainfall is less than 25 centimeter. These vegetations are of deep roots and thick fleshy stem in which they can store water to survive the long drought. Tundra regions cover polar ice caps and marginal lands. Summers are cool here but short and winters are long and cold. These regions are vast areas that are covered with snow for most of the year. It is too cold for anything to grow here except for mosses and lynches. During the short summer, this area consists of Europe, Asia, and North America. To the few inhabitants of this region, the reindeer provides meat and milk as well as clothes and shoes. There is a close relationship between animals on the one hand and climate and natural vegetation on the other. Evergreen forests are the richest of all environment in terms of plant and animal life. Animals, those found in grasslands, are either swift-footed and grass-eating like zebra, giraffe, and antelope, or the savage flesh-eating lions and cheetah that live on them. Most of the African plants eater live in herbs for protection against a predator. They move from place to place in search of grass and water. Despite the barren landscape, a surprising variety of animal life can be found in the desert. The biggest problem faced by these animals is heat and the lack of water. Camels, rats, squirrels are some animals along with a large variety of reptiles found in these areas. In cold polar regions, animals are quite different. They grow thick fur and have thick skin to protect themselves from the cold. For most of the year, this region is a barren wilderness where plant and animal life is scarce. Here, only reindeer, Arctic foxes, and some small mammals like whale, polar bear, and walrus can be found. The rapid growth of world population in recent decades had disturbed the ecological balance. The physical environment and the organisms which live therein constitute the ecosystem. Man is a member of the ecosystem and his food resources are derived from the ecosystem. A proper understanding of the processes taking place in the ecosystem will help in the proper utilization of food resources. But if the natural equilibrium is upset, as for example by large scale deforestation, it leads to soil erosion, floods due to the loss of balance. Many species of plants and animals have faced extinction. Man should learn to adapt his modes of life, food habits, etc., in such a manner that he is able to make the best use of the environment. Social, political, and economic differences among nations of the world should not stand in the way of sharing the food and other resources. By understanding the delicate balance in the biosphere, man will be able to exploit the resources in such a manner that the balance is not disturbed. Okay, students, so read this chapter carefully again and again and search all exercise, answer yourselves. Thank you, everyone.